The sun was setting over the rolling hills of Tuscany as Maria made her way back to her family's estate. She had spent the day in Florence, visiting the markets and shops that lined the cobbled streets. Now, as she rode through the countryside, she couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment wash over her. As the carriage turned onto the familiar path leading up to the estate, Maria caught sight of a man standing at the edge of the field, watching the sunset. There was something about him that drew her attention. Perhaps it was his tall frame, or the way he stood with such quiet contemplation. Intrigued, she decided to investigate further. As she approached, the man turned and introduced himself as Francesco. He explained that he had been sent by a local landowner to oversee some repairs on their property. Maria found herself drawn to him. His manner was polite, but not overly familiar, and there was an air of quiet confidence about him that she found appealing. Over the following weeks, Maria found herself spending more and more time in Francesco's company. They would talk for hours about everything from politics to literature, sharing a deep connection that seemed to transcend mere words. She began to feel as though she had known him all her life, that he was someone with whom she could share her deepest thoughts and feelings. But there was another side to Francesco that Maria couldn't quite put her finger on. There were moments when his gaze would grow distant, or when his voice would take on a note of coldness that seemed out of place. She wondered if perhaps he had some secret, that he was hiding from her something that might stand between them and true happiness. It was during one such conversation that Maria's suspicions were confirmed. Francesco revealed to her that he was, in fact, already married, though his wife lived far away in a distant city. Maria felt a mix of shock and sadness wash over her. It seemed unfair that the man she had come to care for so deeply should be bound by another woman's expectations. But even as she struggled with this revelation, Maria found herself drawn back to Francesco time and again. There was something about him that made her feel alive in a way she had never experienced before, a sense of passion and intensity that left her breathless. She wondered if perhaps it might be possible for them to find some kind of compromise, a way to be together without causing harm to either of their existing relationships. As the days turned into weeks, Maria found herself caught up in a whirlwind of emotion. She knew that she had to make a choice, whether to follow her heart and risk everything in pursuit of this new love, or to walk away from it all and live out her days in quiet solitude. But as she gazed out over the rolling hills of Tuscany, watching the sun set once more over the horizon, Maria knew that there was only one path forward to take a chance on love, whatever the cost. And so, with a deep breath and a leap of faith, Maria made her decision. She would follow her heart, no matter where it led her, even if it meant risking everything she held dear. For in the end, as she stood beneath the Tuscan sun, watching the light fade from the sky, Maria knew that there was nothing more precious than the love of another, a love worth fighting for, no matter what the cost. The end!